All right, guys, here we go with some more social studies for the week. This is week 13, day 2, and we are talking about slavery in the South. So, Montgomery, the capital of the Confederacy. When Lincoln was elected, some thought that all of the southern states should actually leave the United States and form their own country. South Carolina decided to do just that, and within a few weeks, a lot of the other southern states were joining them as well. What about Alabama? Did we jump on that bandwagon? Were we a bandwagon state? Did we just decide, well, everyone else is doing it, we'll do it too? Yep, sure did. In fact, Montgomery was the first capital of the Confederate States of America. So out of all the southern states that seceded away from the Union and wanted to become their own country, they formed the Confederate States of America, which for the record was never an official country. And Montgomery was the first capital of that Confederate States of America. However, not all Alabamians were in agreement with this. Thank goodness, right? Parts of Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee were pretty convinced that seceding over this issue was just a little bit too far, a little bit dramatic to say. When Alabama finally seceded from the rest of the South, Winston County threatened to secede from Alabama and make its own state. So not only were states seceding from the Union, but now we've got separate counties that are wanting to secede from states to make their own state. Things were getting a little out of hand, a little bit crazy over, they were just being a little bit dramatic over a disagreement between slavery. So the Missouri Compromise was here to keep states balanced. So in 1803, the United States actually bought a huge piece of land from France in a deal called the Louisiana Purchase. And there was a ton of land. It was enough for at least a dozen, 12 or so new states. However, there's a really big question on everyone's mind. What do you think that question might be? Any ideas? So they were concerned about if there was going to be slavery allowed or not allowed in these new states. So it was a really important question because, well, it was a really important topic. Some people strongly disagreed with it and some people strongly agreed with it. So they needed to figure out what they were going to do about this new union that was forming and see what was going on. So there had always been an equal number of states that allowed slavery and states that did not allow slavery. They were always balanced out. So both sides wanted to keep it that way. They wanted to keep the numbers even. They didn't want the slave states to outnumber the free states or the free states to outnumber the slave states. So they actually decided that in order to enter into the Union, they had to order or come in as pairs, one slave state and one free state. If you could not agree on someone being the slave state and someone having the free state, you could not actually enter until an agreement was made. And that deal was called the Missouri Compromise. All right, guys, that is it for day 2. Come back tomorrow for day 3. As always, please make sure you are checking your folder so you don't miss any assignments. All right, guys, see you then.